Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Amadi, and today I'm going to teach you how to use a very powerful module, pandas. And in pandas specifically, we're going to learn how to use group by, which is a method in Python. So we have some data here on Excel, and we're going to try to import this data from Excel to Python, and then we're going to use group by to work on the data. So here you have some data which shows sales data for a particular company. You have the different types of products, the salespeople, the regions, the amount that was sold, and number of units that were sold for each. So the first thing we're going to do is head up to close this, because if you leave it open, it's not going to allow the pandas to import it properly. So we're going to open our environment. We're going to import pandas as PD, and then we're going to import numpy as np. Now the first thing we're going to do is to use a method called read_excel to try to import our data from Excel. And this is a method, so you have to attach it PD to it, and it also contains some arguments. Now let's use a variable that we're going data frame, so that going forward we'll just use data frame to work. Now in read Excel, you're going to pass the file path of the Excel document into that. So you're going to go to the Excel document and get properties, copy the file path. I'm going to use this copy. I'm going to paste that into as our arguments, and of course the name of the file, in this case is pivots, with the extension. The extension is also very important of the Excel document. We're also going to use double backslashes. One backslash would get Python confused, thinking that you're going to another line. One backslash has other uses. So if you leave the extension as one backslash, it's not going to work. And then finally, this is going to be in a string for it to actually work. Now, for you to display what you've done, you're going to print data frame, which is a variable you've just created. If you want to print the first 5 rows, you use the f.head. Let's test this and see. And there you go. You have the first 5 rows of your document printed out. Another thing you can do here, if you want to print, you want to describe the document's mean and all that, averages and mode and all that, you use .describe. If you comment this out, this is going to print. This tells us the maximum, the mean, standard deviation, count, all that kind of stuff. That's for describe. So let's comment this out. What we want to learn today is group by. Now for group by, what we're trying to do is, let's go back to the Excel document so that we can see clearly what we're trying to do here. Remember that whenever you're working in Excel documents, try to close it before you work on Python. If not, Python won't be able to extract information from it. So here you have different kinds of products: burgers, fries, hot dogs. You have salespeople. Let's say, for example, I want to find out which salesperson had the highest sales. Which salesperson had the highest sales? I can use group by to do this. So we close this document. The salesperson is the first column, and then sales is the second column. So keep this in mind. We close this. I'll come here. Use group by. group by, then we'll pass in salesperson. And then we index who's calling me? Sorry. And then we index the next, which is sales. The next column, which is sales. I think it's capital letter. And then we want to do a sum of all the sales the person did. Now, group by is a method, and in this case, you're trying to do the method on the data frame that you created. So that's why it's df.groupby. And then we're going to equate this to a variable. We can say group underscore by or something. Let's say, or best salesperson, best underscore salesperson. And this has to be in a string. Very important. If not, it's not going to work. So what we did here was, group by is a method, right? And we're trying to reference this method in the data frame we just created, which is df. The first thing we did here was to pass in the salesperson. We want to group it by salespeople, and they want to find out all the sales that they did for each of those salespeople. They want to sum it for each of them. So we want to find the best salesperson. Then we print best salesperson. Let's see what this gives us. Let me see. I think I have made a small error somewhere. It's supposed to be let's go back to our Excel document. Okay, sales in capital letters, so we have to do capitals. Okay, so that's it. You have to get used to handling errors. Just because I didn't put sales in capital letters, that didn't work initially. So here we have successfully used group by to find out. First of all, you grouped all the salespersons, Andy, Julia, and Paul, and then you got all the things they sold, and then you added them up using sum. So we added all the things they sold, all the sales they made in dollars. So you can see clearly that Julia sold a lot more than the other two people. Julia sold $503,255 compared to the other two. So this is basically how you can use group by to group your data, and you can do a lot more with this. Any kind of thing you want to find out using grouping of data, you can use this. Thank you.